Okay. Hello, everybody. Warm welcome to this new special evening together with the new you, the new us, and a deep dive of decoding the world events and our journey forward through it all. So warm welcome, all pioneers in this paradigm shift into this new golden age. Through the darkest time in the world, in our history and evolution, into the brightest time in our history and evolution. So let's check how you're doing. Hello, Mona Lisa. Hello, Eric. I see we are just in the beginning here. People are coming on board. Good. Hello, Marie. All right. So as we wait for more to come online, let's start by checking. I should also say, this evening, we're going to dive deep into the continuous things going on Hawaii, Maui. I'm going to share the latest, what's happening over there, because it all ties together, you know, micro and macro. And yeah, there is things there going on, which says a lot about the big picture, what's going on as well. And then we're going to dive into this latest movie that came out with Julia Roberts, Leave the World Behind, and decode that, because it's going all over the world. It's a big talk about this movie. Many are decoding it, and so will I this evening. And I will also decode some positive things in there, which I'm sure they didn't think about, but what I have picked up as well. So it's going to be a very interesting evening, because we are in for a challenging time here ahead. And it's good to know what's going on, so we are prepared, and that we know this too shall pass. So we're moving into a brighter future here, eventually, step by step. So, hello, Anne. Hello, Gaia Warrior. Hello, Karina. Hello, Cliff. All welcome. So let's see. Let's start with, see how you're doing. How are you doing through this whole messy time? Hello, Björn. Great. I will pull up the energy scale here. And for you who are new, so this is the energy scale of human consciousness and our emotions, which is called the emotional scale. And the biggest thing right now is to move out of fear and all these lower vibrations and establish a new ground, which is to be neutral. Instead of being negative, neutral is the new low, right? The new fundament where we stand on. And then open for love, to be in the love vibration and leaving the suffering and getting by behind and moving into the flow. So this is what we are working on here all the time, to help each other, lift each other up, and to be in this magical flow so we can co-create with the universe. So when we are left the ego consciousness and our desires, desire from Latin means of the Father, that means that we are now co-creating with the universe, and we're seeing signs in our daily life as flow. When things just come out of the blue, synchronicity is happening. So that's what we're working on for you who are new. So how is it going, everybody? How's it going for you? Who is first out to let me know? Cliff, you're always fast. All right. So another week with weird energy. not lower than 600 this week. Okay, so peace, that's wonderful. Cliff, good work. And nice to hear that you keep it up, even though I know you go through a tough time right now. Lilian, hello Lilian. Good evening, dear Björn and everyone. So how are you doing, Lilian? How has your week been? Where are you, energy-wise? And Sophia, down in the sewer again this week. Oh, 100. Need to protect and shield from people that try and break me. Not everyone in the world have good intentions. Many are evil. Look forward to tonight's live. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. It's also good to understand, to look at it from a more positive point than to look that everybody's evil. It's more correct to look at a person like that they carry a lot of heavy loads, broken heart, heavy mind, gut out of whack. So they have a very short fuse. So all their heavy burdens came out of you, obviously. So a lot of times it's not us that they are mad on. They just have an overload of toxicity and negativity. And then someone comes along and get everything unloaded on them. So don't take it personally. It's very important. Don't take it personally. Everybody needs to clear their baggage now, heal all the wounds, and become liberated and free again. That's how we move up. We don't move up by just trying to make this be our new standard without fixing the lower. We need to clear the lower first, heal it. That's how it works. Shintamani, Björn, I am 700 to 1,000. So all the way up there in the flow, enlightenment. I didn't expect anything less from you, Björn. Wonderful to hear. I'm beautiful and everything is wonderful. My God, wow. What a journey you've been through this year. My God. You are so great, Björn, to turn everything around this quick, to heal your heart and come up back on top again. Double thumbs up. Karina, in Stockholm, it is, as I would say, as always, stressful energy towards Christmas. I live in the woods, spending most of my time here and within. I feel blessed, and today, after fascia massage, good, 888. Love that number, Karina, and thank you for sharing that little insight in your world. Love it. There was a study made a few years ago where they measured, I think, like 50 to 100 meters in sidewalks around the major cities in Europe. And they measure how fast people walk in the cities. Guess which city who won the race? And people were not aware that they were in the contestant. Stockholm. The fastest, speediest walkers in Europe. So yes, the most stressful city in Europe, Stockholm. So extra important to take deep breaths and stop sometime when you walk on the sidewalk and just ground yourself and send a message to all the stressful people. All right. Cliff, sometimes low, then just tell myself, no, no, no. Happy thought to feel good again. Very good, Cliff. You're so good at this. It's fantastic to know what you're going through and you still keep this positive spirit. Amazing. Very, very good. Sophia, Thank you, Björn. Your words help to work on my compassion. Yes, good. Gaia Warrior, I am at 600 to 800 mostly. Okay, fantastic. Nikan, hello. I saw the movie yesterday with Julia Roberts. All right, so we're going to dive in that a little bit later here. So I look forward to hear insights from you as well. Lillian, went to a retreat this weekend. Lovely food, environment, nature, and so on. So today, 600. Aha. Yep, we need to fuel up on that piece that is beyond words. Good, good, Lillian. Always nice with retreats, always. Carolina, I've noticed that with one thought, hard emotion, comes 1,000 thoughts. And when the feeling is gone, everything is quiet. Okay. Very good. Yes. They have a nickname for this, and that's the monkey mind. And when we are living in speedy conditions a lot, there is this ping pong game going on, and we need to quiet it on a steady basis. So very good. Marie, 500 to 600. So love to peace. There has been some traps, but not for a very long time. Okay. Yeah. You're so good. So many here have learned to move through the tougher challenges much quicker. I just love dogs. You know, when they've done something that the owners don't like, and they get, you know, maybe they bite the pillow and the feathers is all over the home. And they stand there looking guilty with the tail between the legs and, you know, ears close to their head. And they get, don't do that again. Then what they do, they just shake. And then happy in seconds. Imagine if we could be that quick. We have still some time to go in the process here of learning to shake things up faster. But you are on your way here. We're all on our way here. Hello, Marita. Nikan, I'm at 600. So a lot of peace here today. Karina, thank you, Björn. Healing is the thought and the word I have in my heart and mind when I meet lower energies. It works well. Yes. Very good, Karina. Eric, 600 to 700. I can feel how the universe flows with me more and more as I've done my work with breathing, meditation, yoga, food, training for many months. Could never believe I would feel this great. I am so glad to hear that, Eric. Fantastic. You're coming like a rocket. So 2023 was really a life transformation year for you, like it's been for all of us. But you have really come like a rocket, flying. Fantastic. Anne, I am at peace with low frequency people around. Okay. So that is very good. So it's always good to switch of being with everybody to kind of just close a little bit and be in our bubble of peace and be an observer to everything going on around us without being affected of it. So super, very good. Mona Lisa. It goes up and down from anxiety to love all the time. I wake up and feel worry, but in the evening, I feel much better. Okay. All right. So something that could be very helpful for you and many here is that in the evening, there is a lot of free sleep well programs you can go and listen to on YouTube. So like the last thing you do before you go to bed, there is guided meditations. We will do one here this night, of course. But if you want to add throughout the week, there is lots and lots and lots that help you to program yourself for a good night's sleep. And then most likely you will wake up not feeling worried, you know? So being prepared for the next day and see that have a good start. Okay. Veronica. Hey, Björn and friends. I have seen Japanese film, The Boy and the Hero, with my friend. Recommend it. Grounding down to center with more basic food. Seen, how do you say that in English? Pearl clouds this evening. Okay. Beautiful. And 844. Love that number. Fantastic. Thank you, Veronica. Therese. Excuse me. Around 500 to 600. So can you see how we all always have a pattern here? So now it's a lot high up here, and then a lot 500, 600. Interesting. Practicing to be grateful, even though there are many things I worry about and are stressed about. Okay, grateful is fantastic practice to really experience it in our feelings, to just count our blessings. Very good, Therese. Susan. Hello, Susan. 600. Kindly write in English so our English friends also here can understand what we're writing, even though we're mostly Swedes here. 600. Lovely with like-minded, sweet friends, and I'm happy that you and we are doing this. So am I. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this, helping each other to raise the energies here. Thank you. And to understand the process that we're going through to support each other here. Okay. Lilian, I visited my sister in Stockholm many years ago. I think it was 98. Was on holiday. I noticed I was suddenly walking very fast for no reason. Yes, that's it. So what you say about Stockholm is true. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very stressful city. Okay, so anyone more would like to share how you feel? You're very welcome to do so now, or we will pause here and move on. Karina, I'm curious, every day, instead of loaded negative, it's a big difference. Yeah, to be curious, like a child again. Yes, yes, exactly. When we wake up in the morning, to be curious what this day is going to bring. You know, if we start to have that mindset again, of course, more positive things will show up because we are looking for it, right? Expecting it, and we're feeding it. Dennis, hello, Björn. 600 for me too. Been having a very calm and slow weekend with my other half. We watched the movie Leave the World Behind yesterday and instantly saw the Hawaiian blue theme. Okay, all right. Yeah. Karina, before I planned everything, no more, let's be present. That is also a big shift going on now, They say, if you want to make God laugh, make a plan. Then God laughs. Because we have to be very flexible these days. They said, before the saying was survival of the strongest. Now, in this time we go through right now, it's survival of the strongest and most adaptable. And we adapt when we're in the now, you know, to be fast of whatever plans we have. If things comes along which tells us, no, you should go that way instead, then being able to do it immediately, it takes some practice to leave our planned schedule. So it's very good. Thank you, Karina. Lilian, I also feel more curious. Good sign. Okay, love it. What a good start. Okay, so friends, let's pause the chat for now, and we will dive into what's going on. And I like also to thank you all for the work that we have started to do now by with the algorithms and those who do their best to take down all of us light workers and light warriors with the numbers in our videos. So look here, what happened. I see a very positive trend here. Look at this. Let's see. Let's see it around here. So did we get that? No, no. Let's do it again. Here we go. Look at this. So last week, when we ended the evening, we had 660 viewings, and then so that is what I can see. And then same minute, if you go up in the right hand corner here, you see 22:12, Sunday the 10th. And then the outside, look here down in the left, 299. So they cut more than half, but it's still better because before it was 75%. And look, the amount of likes. No, I don't have that number here. Okay, but the likes was 128 when we ended last show, and I think now it's like 240. So thank you for helping out. That means a lot, and it helps a lot, because what we're going through now is the craziest time when it comes to getting the information out there and spread the good word. So thank you, everybody who are helping here with liking it, supporting it financially as well. And the links are always underneath the video. If you feel that this is good and you like it, you want to support me in the work back, super grateful for that. And yeah, I've seen some other light workers and light warriors out there, and it's funny when you see the number of views is less than the likes. So I would love to have that to happen here as well. So we are obviously they are messing with the numbers, and I've seen several times when I see the numbers go backward, you know, just in front of my eyes. It's insane. So they are really working on suppressing this work. So thank you, everybody who is part of helping me and all of us to change that. Okay, so hi, Santosha. See, Santosha says, I just got home from Kundalini Yoga and the incredible gong bath, 900 plus. Sounds fantastic. All right. And thank you, Cliff. Yes. All right. So we are now diving into a very just so crazy times we live in, and we're going to dive into the continuous challenges that the Hawaiians are going through on Maui, the whole Hawaiian Islands. So the Hawaiians try to break out of their US partnership. Well, it's not a partnership. The US came in and stole the islands from the Hawaiians, and now they want to steal it all. So if we look at the map here of the Hawaii Islands, you see the big island here, and then they go all the way up to Kauai. Oahu is where you have Waikiki, Honolulu, and Pearl Harbor. So that's maybe one of the most famous islands. That's the main island you land on. Crazy, just so much people and skyscrapers and like a city. And then the next big island of happenings is Maui. So this is the heart of the Hawaiian people. When they came to the Hawaii Islands, they started to set up their, so I'll keep my finger here, west side of Maui, which is up here. So Lahaina is here. So this was the heart where they established a harbor and did all their ceremonies and started to set up a community. And now, 6 months ago, there was an attack. They tried to buy out the people here because they have other plans with this area, what they want to do, the cabal, rich and famous, and leveled the whole town. They burned them alive. So the whole town is just leveled, just ash. And now many thousands of people died instantly. And that is with directed energy weapons and other weather manipulation weapons. So we see this now happening in a way that has never been this open ever. You know, we've seen it in forest fires around the world over the last 20 years, how they have ramped up all the fires. And we see it in the weather manipulation. And here is like ground zero now. This is like the new 9/11, the new Pearl Harbor event. And just wait until you hear what's going on now. So the goddess of these islands is called Pele, and she is the mother. And she and the Hawaiian people have this beautiful understanding of their spirits and the spirit guides of these islands and how they live with nature. So we have talked about Atlantis, where I'm living in Gozo, Malta, which is connected to the Atlantean energies. And Hawaii is connected to the Lemurian energies. So this paradise is now under attack, and they want to build a smart island here, not just a smart city, smart island. So if anyone is new to what happened here, you can go in and just do your own research on what happened in Lahaina. We have talked about this numerous times here now as we move along. And now I will dive into some more of it. So let's see. So I just want to have this beautiful picture in the background. Okay. So, okay, look at this. We will take a look at the video clip here, just a few minutes. And this is about that they, first of all ash that is left in this area, they now have to find some place to get rid of the ash. And the ash contains so high level of heavy metals and toxins and poisons, plus all the people and animals that vanished that day. So they are moving very quickly. And now this comes from to understand the pyramid structure. And I always talk about the octopussy on top, the secret society that make all the decisions for all the lower levels to implement it in our world. And we are at the bottom, the people who are now waking up to this whole thing. And what they are doing, since they own the police, the military, and the court system, they are setting up step-by-step ways to just, I mean, I rather just show you instead of telling you here in front. So let's take a look at this video, and then we talk some more. Here it comes. So it will cost 64 millions to store an estimated 400,000 tons of toxic ash, right? And they're going to do it in the most insane place in West Maui. And
CR 23.
Lucian, just want to let you know that if we don't vote on this in short order, we will not get this on the next council meeting agenda.
Okay, well then I can end my testimony then, but.
All right, members, anybody else wanting to testify at the beginning of the agenda?
So basically, they rushed a meeting where people could come in and vote what they thought about the plans.
And I just didn't want, we have over 8 people signed up to testify. And if they knew that ahead of time, perhaps there's no need to testify.
Chair, not wanting, needing. If they need to.
Okay.
So if you absolutely cannot wait, we really need you to just like hold off, please, so we can just get this done. There's really time sensitive items that if we can't get to it now, then we won't be able to help the community. Like our deadline is at 12.
I know.
Like, I don't think people understand the urgency. We're like begging you or Lahaina to please hold off on your testimony for now so that we can get this posted, because we need to get it posted. And if it doesn't get posted by 12, it's done. Like there's going to be things that we cannot take action on. We cannot fill these positions for the Office of Recovery if we don't get this done. So please.
Ms. Clerk.
All right. So what we're seeing here, even though it's from a cell phone, is the actual meeting in the council where they go out with information just, I don't know, it was 1 day ahead of time. So almost no one has the time to come in and share what they think about it. So we will go to another look at this. Yeah. So this is what happened 2 days ago.
I farm in Oluwalu, and I want to point out what's going on over my shoulder over here. We're going to talk about this temporary site that they're recommending be a permanent site, and we need to get this into community discussions because everyone's driving right by it, but I don't know if they realize what's happening. And you can see the road behind me there, and we're going to show you a bunch of video and what's actually happening here. So if you feel like it's not right, and you understand the ramifications of this, then you need to let it be known, because the county does not seem to know this, and they seem to think that the community supports this being put here. And so we're going to try to go through this, and this is a bit of community information that we're trying to put out to you right now. I say this with all humility. I don't mean to speak for anyone else. I'm simply putting it out there because I believe there needs to be a large discussion which involves our entire community, and especially Kanaka Maoli and all of the kupuna, because we need to hear what our community actually wants to happen. This could have repercussions far beyond what people think. And a few hundred yards from our most precious resource, the ocean. And these are the type of toxins that find themselves into the food chain and are what are destroying our ocean. So why are we going to take a chance with putting it right next to it on a cinder pit that's some of the most permeable stuff we know about? And right where I'm standing right here, actually closer to where the red flags are there's an underground stream that runs through here. There's another underground stream that runs right through the other side of it. This is all mapped out in fact. So we need to make these decisions based on these facts and not some of the stuff we're being told. So I want to point out that this was just sent to me. I need to point this out to everyone's attention that they are actually voting on the permanent site in 2 days. How is that possible? We were told this would be months out with much community involvement and some science and EPA. And this is what's happening right now. So people need to blow this up. They need to be at this meeting on Wednesday. And they also need to call these numbers and let people know how you feel about letting this happen. We're going to post a bunch more videos right after this with a lot more information. Wow, this is crazy. Let's get into their plan for the actual temporary site. You're talking about this containment liner. They're talking about putting a non-permeable soil underneath it, and then the native soil foundation. Let's point out it's cinder, one of the most permeable soil foundations that there are, which means that it has a high chance of leaking into the groundwater. Let's look at the rest of their model. This is substrate, all of the white area that you see. The red things are pipes for leachate. Leachate meaning if it rains in it, what happens to the water that goes down through it? How are you getting rid of that? So they say they have a system for pumping it. Where are you pumping it to? What is your protocol for that? These are the questions we need to be asking. They are using an 80 mil liner, HDPE, high density polyethylene. Correct us on that. They could be using a PVC liner, which is worse. So if you look at these first maps, we're looking at this area right here. So to put that in the context of what we see in front of us, that is right here. This map does not show that there's a 40 or 50-foot drop straight downhill right here. Where else is it? So it looks like that containment is taking place here. And then what they're digging out, what they show on the next sheet, is where the permanent area will go. And if they're not planning to put the permanent area there, then how come it's already halfway built? The permanent area is what they're working on. So it sounds to me like we need a lot of discussion about this. And why? Why are we worried about the liner leaking? If we're looking at some of the studies that have been done on the liners, they're rated for 100 years under zero stress environment. If you look at this situation, this is nowhere near a zero stress environment. We have some of the numbers that we're going to share with you. But it says on this one we highlighted here, a zero stress installation is practically impossible to achieve. Wrinkles are unavoidable. So now you're going to go with an 80 mil liner under it, and you're saying that that's going to protect us for 70 years, 100 years. So what's in here? A whole list of things we have here for you. But if we look, which is already confirmed by the state, asbestos, copper, arsenic, dozens of heavy metals. But what we really want to look at, what they're not telling you and you don't see any information on, is let's talk about dioxins. Dioxins are considered to be the most toxic man-made substance and the 5th most toxic naturally occurring compound known to man. Let me just point out PVC. When PVC pipes are burned, they release dioxins, a group of highly toxic compounds that pose significant health risks. They include reproductive, developmental issues, immune system, hormonal influence, cancer. The productions of dioxin is particularly prevalent during the low and incomplete combustion of PVC, which contains high levels of chlorine. Something to be said for that. So is this what we want to put a few hundred yards from the ocean in a super permeable cinder bed? I think that we need to hear from our community about this, and that we all need to make our concerns heard. And it's really important, that meeting on Wednesday and every Wednesday, I think that we need to show up and let people know that there should be better alternatives to this. The EPA is willing to ship all of this material off island.
All right. So, as you can hear, very distressed people. I have many more clips that I could show you, but I think it's better we have each other so we can talk. So basically, they are not caring about the people in Maui at all. The survivors are, they are, I mean, can you imagine? You lose everything, your house burns down, you manage to survive. All friends, other family, dogs, everything gone. All your possessions, everything gone. And then you're not allowed to go back into your home. And then now there is a housing crisis. So now they are gonna take all those homeowners who have built like a little cottage on their land next to their house, or maybe they have an extra room for people to rent when people come to Maui. So now they're going to come in with a sledgehammer and force people to take on survival victims, and they're not going to be able to get their income from the tourist industry. It's just super messy. Everything is just so controlled. And as you saw here in the pictures, they're not waiting for the people to come in and have a hearing and listen to the people, what people think, and then vote on it and come up with a plan for the next stage and what to do with all these toxins, which should be going on a ship to the mainland where they have facilities that take care of these things. That's very simple. You know, go to the mainland and get it there. No, so what they're doing, they're just driving over them again and again and again. So many are at the point of giving up. Many have mortgages that they can't keep up with because they lost their income. You know, many have lost everything and their businesses. So now many are losing their homes. They can't keep it up. Or, you know, they already lost their homes, but they have the mortgages still to pay. So can you imagine the situation? It's just insane. So now what we see here is this octopussy, this, you know, this brilliant evil mind behind everything going on in the whole world. Here we see it on full throttle, full action in Maui, and how they are just, don't care that, you know, that we get to know all these things. They don't care. So what we see is the desperation here of moving fast. So even though we think that things are moving slow, things are moving super fast. So what we are about to see here is an escalation of the takeover of Maui and the other islands as well. So it's a very, I think I just will call it interesting scenario to be able to watch this in real time happening on a daily basis. They're moving forward in, you know, giant leaps, and they don't care that these poisons, and one of the poisons that they didn't bring up is highly graded explosives called TNT. which is not regular TNT, military graded TNT, which were used to bring down the 9/11 towers as well. So they've been using that here as well to blow up all the buildings and level everything. So that is also in the ash. And all that, when it rains from the hills, you know, here, and all that is washed down in their sacred reef, because that is one of the nicest reefs you have on Maui. So in a few years, that reef is going to be dead. And the fishes and the people who swim there, it's just disaster on disaster on disaster. So heavy energies here, heavy. And yeah, I just feel for the Hawaiians. My whole heart goes out to all in United States and Hawaii. Yeah, I love Hawaii dearly, and the Lemurian connection and all these challenges that they're going through. We need to support them in the energy here. Just, yeah, know what's going on so we can be prepared, because this is not the last place they will do this with. This is kind of like a test. How much can they get away with? How much are the people going to stand up against them? Almost nothing, almost nothing. And those who do, they just, yeah, they don't have anything to say. So it's a very interesting scenario. So we will now move over to another subject, which is the same thing, what they're doing. So bear with me here a second, and we pause the Hawaii scenario for now. We're going to continue to keep an eye on it as we go forward here, because lots of stuff is going to happen here, and that's going to reverberate out to the whole world. All right, so we're going to look at a movie now that is very, very in your face. So from this beautiful scenario, take it in. Now we move into some dark, evil production called Leave the World Behind. And that is what you do when you go to Hawaii. You kind of leave the world behind. But now here is the war on humanity on the most high level. Even now the economic war. So you can't survive here if you don't have an amazing income. It's super expensive. And now, since they trashed so many businesses here, many are caving in. So yeah, so leave the world behind. And they use their satanic favorite colors, black and red, and so they look like blood. And we're going to take a look at this picture. So what you will see here is who was Baal in the Bible, because when you look at the names there of the four main characters, you can, now I can't show you this in this picture, but there is a line when you go read it, not like we read normally, but downward. All these four together, there is Baal in the name there. So they always do this to play around with all of us, to show who is behind everything. When they do it, they think they get a free karma card if they let everybody know beforehand. That's how they've been working all the time, all the time. So who was Baal in Bible? In the Bible, Baal is the name given to several different deities who are designated as false gods or ideals. However, it is most often used to describe the specific, I can't even pronounce that, Canaanite Phoenician god of fertility and rain. Additionally, Baal is associated with the Beelzebub, demons, and the devil. So we offer, sounds like a nice start, right? So they're not kidding around anymore. Now they're going full throttle, showing everything in our faces. Now, we are also looking at another interesting thing in the picture. So the two parents, Ethan Hawke and Julia Roberts, they have two children. And this is how they look in the movie, the whole movie. Obey NASA. So it's a very interesting choice of signs, right? And we know from previous showings that I've done here that NASA is not what we think, right? So just show this. Where did you go? Here we go. So NASA, right? So what is this red line, these two red lines? Yeah, it's their favorite animal, the snake. So what does this mean? Well, if you dig deeper into our history and what happened here when before we came into all of this, when NASA was established, we're gonna take a look at that. Here. So here we go. So if you go into DuckDuckGo or Google and you write in NASA Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip was a secret United States intelligence program in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians were taken from the former Nazi Germany to the US for government employment after the end of World War II, between 1945 and 1959. And that's when they established NASA, they established CIA, and many other three-letter government organizations. And then if you look at the picture here, you see this little girl with a NASA t-shirt, and to the left, you see Obama. So what's also interesting, what has come out, is that Obama is actually one of the funders and promoters behind this movie of making it happen. So interesting little things here. And if you go into, you really want to understand what NASA is and Operation Paperclip, you will also come to the other subject about our world, if it's as we think it is, round, or if it's something completely different. And we are slowly and surely opening up the consciousness for that programming as well as we go here. And we have done that a few shows, so I will leave that subject for now because it's so big and many are so programmed. So they do everything to keep on with the programming and try to show me and everybody who has breaking through this conditioning that it's still round, you know. So you can get 3 Bitcoins if you can prove that the world is round. You can look at the previous show. I have a video there with a guy who is a pro on the subject. And all of us who are pros on the subject, we have been diving into it because we thought it was silly and we wanted to, you know, take down this ridiculous subject and once and for all. But there is another lie even there. Okay, so obey NASA. What does that mean? Okay, so we're gonna now go through the movie. Not the whole thing. I will just show you some of the most important signs and we will talk about them. So when you look at the credits in the beginning, one of the pictures there are many to dissect, but one of the pictures is the upside down cross and lots of them. So scrolling. So meaning a lot of dead people, many people will die. And we already know that that's what's going on. That's their plan. So Julia Roberts is not in her best, if I say so. I just find it sad to see, you know, she was so beautiful when she started her career and had such a fantastic energy. And here you see how she has, become dark. And she's placing a character in the movie which hates people. So that is also the common red thread for the cabal. That's why they want to get rid of humanity. They hate people, they hate humanity. They call us useless eaters. So that is one of the things going on here in the start from the get-go. So they come or she decides to take a vacation with the family over the weekend. So they leave the city and they rent this house outside the city. And then they go to the beach. This is in the very beginning. So they're coming here to set up for a beach day. And then the girl, she sees a boat coming straight in toward the beach. And it's a big super tanker. And people are just continuing doing their thing. And some pay attention to the boat, but most doesn't, right? And then it comes closer and closer and closer, and this goes on for some time. So it's like a suspense thing. And you wonder, why isn't more people realizing what's going on? So they don't realize what's going on until it's really here. Now it's going to board the beach. So now what happens is everybody panics, they run, and the boat comes up on the beach. And then it lands there, and here's another sign, white lion. So what does that mean? Well, so there's a lot of animal signs here in the movie. And I have my animal book, which, as we know, we come from the Viking tradition and also the Indians and many other, the native Indians, many other cultures. When we used to live with nature, the animals showed us something, and there were always a message the animal came with. So I'm going to read the lion for you. You own a big heart, and that is just, that is your true strength. Remember that an open heart is a how do you say it? I'm reading in Swedish. I'm doing it in my mind at the same time in English. Courageous heart. That an open heart is a courageous heart. So to be, you know, like Braveheart and all these movies of the hero energy, when you have an open heart, that is the hero heart, a courageous heart. So the white lion is, you know, coming on the beach, wow, like a roar, showing up and on the white beach, right? Be proud over who you are. Let the world take part of your assets and wisdom. Your gift is to speak to the world, and the world listens to you. So that is what I'm doing, and that is what we all are doing in our daily life, our existence on the world, in the world, why we came here, to make the world a little bit better, right? So the world are hearing me and seeing me when I roar, like this thing coming on the beach, wah, right? Yeah, you got my attention. I woke up, right? However, It even listens and see me when I'm, what do you call it? When they purr. This is what the lion told me. It depends on that when I know who I am and I'm proud over myself, the world around me sees that too. And then they listen to me. I get all the attention I need without having to roar. The words went straight into my heart. How nice it is that I don't have to roar anymore to get my attention. It's enough to just show who I am. So I bet you they didn't plan anyone reading this in this movie. So we're going to mix it up, all the darkness with light. All right, let's continue. So the boat ends up on the beach, a big tanker. And now this also takes me to another big boat that crashed a long time ago. And I've been going through that many, many times as a great metaphor for the time we're in, to understand what happened with Titanic. So when Titanic, which is another story, it's not Titanic, it was a sister ship to Titanic, another story for another day. But then the captain told the orchestra to keep on playing. Keep on playing. Why? Because when you keep on playing the orchestra, everything seems to be fine and dandy. So all the people on board, they kept on dancing, they kept on drinking and dining and just having a jolly good time. At the same time, the boat is sinking. So that's where we are right now in the world. The boat is going down, here represented with this ship going up on the beach. And why is that happening? So let's dive into that. There we go. So in the meantime, there is some other interesting animals coming in the foreground. Here is a deer and also the smaller version of a deer, the roe deer, right? With the spots on. You can see that, the mom and the roe deer here together. Coming up on the backside of the house they're renting. I will come back to that a little bit later here. And then suddenly it rings on the door, and Julia and Ethan, they go and open the door, and outside stands the couple who is the owners to the house. And they just come from the city because there is a blackout in the city. And it's chaos. So, and all the main roads around the city is blocked. They can't go anywhere. So the only way they could go were to go back out to the countryside to their house. So they wonder if they can have the guest room in their own house. And he is willing to pay them 50% back, which they get. And so I will not go into too much stuff about the movie if anyone wants to see it. So it still will be a lot of stuff that is new. However, now, what happened was that they come in the kitchen, they have a talk what's going on, and they just experience this boat coming on the beach, and everything is like, what's going on? And then they turn on the TV, and here's what it says on the TV. National alert. Immediately. This is not a drill. Emergency broadcast system issued on unrecognized emergency warning. So it's still no information what's going on, just that everybody should stay inside, go home. So Ethan, he leaves the house to go out and check out the area around the house. And when he's driving on the road, there is a huge drone coming and messing up the air with something. It let go of something red, whatever it might be. And he is trying to lose it. And what it comes down to is leaflets. And they're written in Arabic. And it's basically saying that we are taking over now, you know. So in Arabic, it says US is going down. So it seems like the Arabs are now at the point, which is also part of what's going on in real life. There is many Arabs set up all around the US, which has been trained for combat for many years. And there is like, they're just waiting for this sign when they're going to start. Same is happening in Europe, in all the major countries, even in Sweden. So we have this Muslim threat also underlying everything else going on. What is that all about? Okay, so again, back to Obama and that whole thing. All right, so we move forward. So then this guy who we saw here coming to the house, the owner of the house, he is a investment banker on a very high level for very high level investors. And he decides to go to a neighbor's house to check out what's going on, because he knows he has we call him a satellite phone. So he wants to say hi to him, and he comes to his house, and it's just a mess there. Nobody's there, can't find them. And the satellite phone, which should be working, the batteries are on and everything, is not working. So all the systems are down. And then he goes on the backside. And on the backside, he finds a crashed plane on the beach. The house is on the beach. And then as he stands there, another plane comes in. And this way. So another plane comes in here. And as he runs, the plane crashes at the same site as the other plane crashed just, you know, maybe an hour before. So now there's two crashed planes here. So it seems like people are dying in planes, in boats, all the systems are going down, mayhem. And then suddenly there is this noise starting all over this whole area. So you hear it like a high-pitched noise, and Julia Roberts tried to cover her ear, but it's just too strong. It goes through everything. So it's called, the part in the movie, The Noise. Also, then another broadcast system comes out saying cyber attack across the country. So now the threat about cyber attack is also placed in here, which is now also going on in real life. It's been going on for some time. And this is also part of Charles Schwab, what he has predicted, that the next thing will probably be a cyber attack where they will take out major installations, will put humanity in an even bigger mayhem than what the COVID did. So pre-programming here, big time. We come into the next, which is called the curve. Sorry, I mixed those two up. So back again to obey NASA. right? So believe in NASA and everything that they tell you. I told you NASA stands for not a space agency. It's not what everybody think. They're here to program us, the biggest lie in the whole world. And they blend it with truth. So it seems, all fine and dandy. And this is also part of George Orwell's 1984, to obey, right? So we have George Orwell's 1984, obey, and then NASA, never a straight answer, not a space agency. Then they go for another drive in another direction. And then we see this car pileup, brand new Tesla cars, which is not in the need of a driver. They're self-driven. And they're piled up, crashed into each other. What's going on? And then the camera zooms out, and you see the pileup of brand new Tesla cars and cars here on the highway, all the way to the bridge over here, mayhem. And then they come home, and over the city, bombs start to drop on the city. So complete chaos. And then we move into another part of the movie called The Flood. So here, this guy sits down and tells Julia Roberts that he had this one client, which is a super high roller, one of those who are in the bigger club controlling the world. So he says here that this guy wanted him to help him to move his money. And he's talking about really serious money, even for that guy, him and the client, that this is numbers that are just off the chart, and he wanted his help. So then he says, what is this all about? And then in the movie, they put this, and he says, I was going to this annual meeting with the rest of the evil cabal that runs the world. So they put it in the movie. So now we're starting to see they're speaking it out. We don't have to dissect things anymore, decode them, because now they're speaking it straight out. So it's a lot here to take in. And then they blend it with these animal things going on at the same time. So they go back on the backside of the house to the pool area. And in the pool are full of flamingos. So I'm going to read the flamingo for you. So flamingo. Your own initiatives starts initiatives in others. So monkey see, monkey do, right? Your own spiritual evolution or development creates a spiritual development who's others as well. So what you do, others do. Your gift is to feel motivation, and I would say inspiration, and through that, inspire others. So when we are motivated, that's a lower energy on the scale. When we are inspired, that's the highest. That means inspired in spirit. So we are now in spirit. We're in the spirit, our higher self. And when we are there, we're high flying. That's when we are in the enlightenment energy, the flow. And when we are there, we inspire others. So we are here now to become that high energy, to inspire each other to be in that energy, because it's from there all the solutions will come. If we go into fear, which this movie is all about, we're not going to come up with the best solutions. From fear, we only have fearful solutions. We get to the solutions by rising above all this fear and get inspired. Have something to come from a higher point, which is the solution to all this mess, right? And that is to be in our higher self, in spirit. So the flamingo showed me that when it started something, it spread and it saw other starting things as well. For example, when a flamingo are starting to lift, to fly off from the ground, all other flamingos also do the same. And the same with us. This is what we see now going on in this awakening, in this process that we've been through over the last few years since the COVID thing started. All us who are out here speaking to dissect the truth the best we can and to help with the spiritual evolution here. This is spreading, and I see how this is such a good energy going around all over the world. So many are now waking up and starting to help with the process, which is to not let the fear take us, to actually move above that. All right? So here is another very interesting thing in the movie, and that is this. Let me show you that one. And let's see. So we have, where did you go? Here. So the dares comes back, and this huge buck, the male of the whole clan of dares, comes to the backside of the house area where they live. Look at that. And the camera actually goes up so you see it's even deep down in the forest. A lot, hundreds. And they just stand there, you know, gentle and just like they want to say something to, on the other side here on the camera is Julia Roberts and another girl. And they reacted in the most silly way, being afraid, and tried to scare the dares off, which they do. But it's so interesting. When they stand there, they are in a telepathic way. Look at this. Look how they speak in silence. Look how they speak with being majestic, gentle, calm, right? And the eyes are all calm. See the calmness in all eyes and the calmness in their nature, just standing there, right? What are they saying? So here comes the dare. Dare. To evolve and change gives courage and freedom. Go with proudness. Know who you are. And I have to just put that in there. You are a spirit. We are spirit. We are here having a human experience. Your gift is to be proud over what you have accomplished. And I put in, so far, this is just the beginning. So that was the message from the dare. And remember, we have another dare as well, which is the roe deer, the smallest little one. And I will come to that here in the end. So instead of having a moment here, which have been so nice, you know, where Julia Roberts and her, they could have petted this, you know, giant male deer, and have a moment there where they connect, and the animal helped them to get rid of their fears. No, instead of that, they used fear, and it became like a normal scare thing in the movie. So the little girl, which is Julia Roberts' daughter, the one with the NASA t-shirt, she goes off to another neighbor, which they have heard has built a bunker in their house. So she goes to the house. Here's her bicycle. She goes into the house and look around and start to eat their snacks, and they're gone. Just everybody's gone. And she find this door down to this cellar, which is a setup bunker with everything that you need to survive for a very long time, right? And here you have also electricity, which is off the grid. And here comes the ending message. Emergency alert. White House and major cities under attack by rogue armed forces. Elevated radiation levels detected near multiple population. And then it says, go inside, be inside. And then the girl sits down and she watches the last show of Friends, you know, the old TV series that went many, many years ago. And she takes the remote control and she pushes the show, the last one. So last sign. And it's like, what is going on? And then the Friends song comes along in the ending there with this initial message. So no one told you life was going to be this way. No, but we were all very aware when we signed up for this mission to come down here on Earth, being part of this wake up and being part of this whole mess we're going through right now, but we forgot it. But we are in our procedure to wake up to why we came to Earth. And why we came is to shine the light on all the darkness, to wake up ourselves, help to wake up others, to just be prepared for all the tough times coming before we go into a much nicer time. And as we know, last time I brought up this Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, which is now also off the chart. The new pictures that we have seen is just on a whole another level. Amazing, amazing pictures all around the world. And now we also see a lot of pink in there. So I have another one that we will have for the end, but I really like this one, which is also with a woman in peace on a boat on a nice, clear ocean, just peaceful. Just love that. So very interesting. And what we also have to take into this whole thing is that the thing that they're talking about in the movie is actually happening in the United States right now as we speak. There has been several blackouts, several hackings, and this is just the beginning. This is, you know, pre-programming. They've been warning about this. It's in 1984, the Albert Huxley's predictions for what's going on now, and also in the plans for Charles Schwab and his book to be prepared for a major cyber attack and the Muslim takeover of the United States and Europe. So that's where we are. right now. And they're showing movies about it, pre-programming us, telling us this is our next step, this is our next step. And here we are enjoying wonders at the same time on a peaceful lake. So we live in two timelines right now. And it's so important to be in the observer, not to get sucked into all this drama, and understand that we are actually now in this procedure of waking up, becoming fully enlightened, have our intuition on place to really not get sucked into the drama, to understand what they want is to suck everybody into this graveyard by giving shots to most of humanity, which is slowly going to take out a lot of people, which is already in the process happening, and to also wake up people to stand here in between these two worlds and see this drama going on, but not want to take part of it. We want to move into a bright future, being part of that, making that happen, and co-creating it with the universe, being inspired, right? So we have to be in our best. That's why I do what I do. And I also have the body included. So we take care of our spirit, we take care of our skeleton, and we take care of our physical body, taking care of all the blockages, all the trauma, heal everything, take ourselves to the next level. This is how we do it. This is how we move from Homo sapiens to Homo luminous, the enlightened human being. So it's pretty substantial things going on right now. And for us to come to the point where we leave this old world and move into this bright future, it's still a little bit way to go until we really get in there. But in the meantime, we have to do our best to keep a high vibe and support each other, and just understand that the worst is not over. I think the worst is about to begin. So it's very, very interesting times here. So we will see. But I think there is a good saying that don't expect the worst. Just be prepared for the worst. Expect the best. Expect the best to happen, but be prepared for the worst. So with that, I pause my presentation here, and we open up for a discussion about it with questions and insights. So thank you for listening, and warm welcome with questions and insights. Oh, no, I actually have one more. Sorry, this is so good. So you want to hear this. The roe deer. Listen to this as an ending. I wanted to take this the last thing. The roe deer. Be love to create beauty in your life. Your gift is that you own the medicine you seek. You are the medicine the world has been waiting for. Here it comes down to that you use love to heal and create that which you wish. It can be negative thoughts you wish to get rid of, fears you wish to let go of, as well as physical ailments. Love is the medicine which cures everything. The roe deer showed me that I can create and heal anything I wish by using love as medicine. The roe deer taught me, when my spontaneous reaction was love, on that which earlier instilled fear in me, I healed that which was out of balance. Instead of suffering and pain, I create love. Isn't that beautiful? So now, with that as a high note ending, welcome to share what you think with questions and insights. Let's see here. All right. So Marie Borg says, NASA is almost like Naga, the snake. Okay, I haven't heard Naga. Maga is the fifth level of the Satanic Order, which is part of NASA, or NASA is part of Maga. All right. Ilenai, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Do someone know why the program was called Paperclip? Paperclips are considered a Norwegian invention, and it is many reasons to look into why, how Norway has been and are so central in so much evil. Yeah, so they took over both Sweden and Norway in that whole procedure. And that is also part of another deep dive. Yeah, there's lots going on. The connection Sweden and Norway with all of this going on is huge. Many think that it's the Sweden which is the heart of everything. I think it's more complicated than that, much more sophisticated and well planned to spread out the organization all over the world. Marie, I think there is X flares from the sun, and I like to think it's feminine energy coming down on Earth. It's very much so. The feminine energy is now coming in. It's from inside every one of us. This feminine aspect, the beauty, the love is now flourishing in the world, in humanity. And this is part of why they want to, take out the sun, dim the world with all the dimming projects, the chemtrails. But yes, the feminine energy is coming in now. We've been into a very masculine period for a long, long time. And now it's the time for the divine feminine to flourish. Actually, for the divine feminine and the divine masculine to now unite. That's what's going on. Santosha, I want to share this with you, my friends. I noticed that when I talk to people about what's going on, that some people act just like the people on the beach in the movie. They refuse to see the boat. Exactly. The music still going on Titanic, playing. Enjoy your thing, whatever you're doing, just... There will be a rude awakening for many people here. Very soon, very soon. I think 2024 is going to be, it's going to take everything that we've been through over the last few years to the next level, for sure. Gaia Warrior, observe but don't absorb. That's good. Yes. Santosha, but not everyone. Some people are curious, and often this leads to open conversations. I feel really inspired, and I have no fear of talking even to strangers. Thank you, Santosha. Great. I always start softly and start with everyday things. My inspiration is so strong that I feel like I have no choice. I just have to share my insights. Yeah, that's how it works. We just guide it and we just follow it. Lilian, wow. Thank you, Björn. Some really heavy info. Yep. So we blended in with love and positive insights as well. Eric, great presentation and info. Thank you. When NASA always counts down their rocket launch and other stuff in space, they say T minus, and T minus NASA becomes Satan. Oh, I didn't know that one. Interesting. Okay. Huh. All right. Interesting. Santosha. Yes, love. I don't recognize myself sometimes. I tell people that soon we ordinary people will need each other. Yes, that's now. That's right now. And it's going to be even more as we go forward here. I encourage new people I meet to share phone numbers and make connections in real life, not just on the internet. No, like we saw here, they are planning to do major blackouts. It's been a talk about the 3-day blackout for a very long time. And I see we're getting closer to that time now, where there's going to be blackouts, which is, you know, we can't reach each other over the net and we can't call, you know, it's just the close surroundings. So we have to also have friends in the close surroundings, someone, you know, so we have, you know, we can get together with a few friends where we live. It's very important. All right. Lillian, 99% of everyone I know refuse to see the boat. Yeah. I don't know what I can do. There is nothing we can do. It's exactly like Titanic. They just want to listen to the nice music. They want to keep on drinking, eating, and enjoying themselves. Entertainment. That's why the entertainment business, you know, NASA, Hollywood, all of it is just to keep us hypnotized. That's it. And in meantime, their agenda keeps on going forward. So back to Maui, where I showed you. That's like what is going to happen to the whole world is going on in Maui now in a very rapid speed. Or I should say what they want to happen to the whole world, to take over, yeah, all major cities and make this plan the next stage in the agenda to make smart cities and smart islands and develop this AI system completely all over. Yeah, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in. Dennis, Björn, did you think about the blue theme throughout the movie, in their clothes, interior, signs, etc.? I thought of the Lahaina blue umbrellas, rooftops that managed to avoid the fires on Maui. So thank you for bringing that up. I missed that, so thank you, Dennis. So let's do this. When you think of energy, like we see, this is energy, light spectrum, all colors. Every color has a specific energy. And we talked about the ripple effects in the pond, you know, when you make music, right? Sorry, wrong button. When we make music. So I lifted that subject a few weeks ago, and that is about the ripple effect. You know, when you make music, you get these sound waves. And when you put that in water, it makes these ripples, right? So everything vibrates. Everything is energy. Everything is frequencies, right? Vibrations. And when we are, so let's do this. When you drop any new idea in the pond of the world, you get a ripple effect. You have to be aware that you will be creating a cascade of change. So now what they're doing is to put fear in there. And what we're doing, we're putting love in there, solutions, right? So when it comes down to solutions for the directed energy weapons, what they found in Lahaina and other places as well is that the color spectrum blue didn't burn. So the directed energy weapons, they basically work like a microwave. So when you put something in the microwave, it heats up from inside. So that's why we see all the forest fires. We see that the trees, they start to burn from the inside. So they burn from the inside and start to burn all the way out eventually. And the same happened all over Lahaina, that they had these trees burning like that, and the houses plus the explosives. But what was interesting when they filmed with drones over this whole area was that there was a lot of blue cars and houses and umbrellas, outside patio stuff and things like that. There was totally fine. And everything around was completely gone, burned to the ground. What's going on? Oprah lives in Maui, and she lives just a little bit away from that part of the island. And a few months earlier, before this disaster happened, she and another few multimillionaires, billionaires, famous people, they put in these blue rooftops on their houses. So when you look at, I can actually think I could show you. If you it's too much to go into now, but you can go in and Google this. Even Google have some information, but most information you get on DuckDuckGo, where if you go into deep dive on this thing with directed energy weapons, that blue color, on the scale of microwaves, it doesn't burn that frequency. So that's why the color blue was saved. So you see a lot of cars were burned, and then suddenly in the middle of all the burned cars is a blue car, free, not burned. So it just went over it because it was out of the frequency scale. So very interesting. So thank you for bringing that up, Dennis. Yes. So if we are in an area when things like that happen, it's good to be in a blue house. Santosha comes back saying, I wonder why people who consider themselves to be open-minded and spiritual, why are they not open to the information you share, Björn? Well, many here are, but we're still just in the beginning of everything. We have to be patient, because this is so huge. So it's a lot to take in. It's like eating an elephant in one sitting. It's not doable. So we have to understand that we are ahead of the curve. We have awoken a little bit more before most others. So that's why we have to be extra patient and humble in this, next phase where more and more people are going to wake up. So those who wake up, they can come to someone who have been awakened for a little bit longer time, who can help them to calm them down and answer the tough questions and direct them to sources we can help them heal and get support. So it's a process here where more and more, it's also that part of the plan is to conquer and divide. So to divide us in each subject, whatever subject it is, if the world is round or flat, for instance. Now, if you go out and say, I believe the world is horizontal, because the flat is just idiotic word. That we have a horizon. It's horizontal. The world we live is horizontal, right? But we don't believe our own eyes anymore. And even the technology where you can zoom in where the supposedly curve, which NASA, the governments put out the information, is that the globe we live in on has the curvature is, if you're 1.70 centimeters tall and you stand on the beach and you look into the horizon, then the curvature happens in about 5 kilometers. But if you look at the boat which goes out to the sea, and you have a really high-tech camera, you can zoom into that boat on and on and on and on and on and on. Never disappears. I live on an island, Gozo, Malta, and I can, on a clear day, or as you say, a clear night, I can see the skyline of Sicily, which is 100 k's away. The curvature should happen after 5 k's, but I see Sicily, which is 100 k's away, right? So the math is not correct. So if the world is round, then we need to get the right figures. Where is the curvature? No one has seen the curvature yet. So we need to have those figures first of all, which means that if the world is round, it is much, much larger than what we have been told. So let's just leave that subject for now, because this is the thing. Conquer and divide. They put in disinformation in every area, and all the areas, you know, should you take the shot or should you not take the shot? Is it safe to brush your teeth with fluoride toothpaste? Yes, say all the dentists around the world. Dentists say it's safe, so it's safe. No, we found out that fluoride is one of the most evil things you can put in a toothpaste. You know, there's endless. But the thing is, once you start to dive into this, what's going on, then you realize that it's all a lie. Everything is upside down, backwards, inside out. And the agenda is moving forward in a rapid speed. And most people don't want to wake up to it. They just want to continue, be entertained with movies, with the music, with the food that make you a lesser version of yourself instead of the best version of yourself, and so on. So I'm so grateful for all of you here. Thank you all who are here with me, and that we are moving forward in this awakening together and developing ourselves to our best version. Thank you. Mona Lisa. I heard that Obama was a Muslim and he fled to the United States because he is gay. Yep, that is also part of the truth. His wife, Michelle, was a man. Yep, that's why he is called Big Mike as a nickname. So the 8 wars he started were planned before 9/11, maybe because he wanted revenge. Well, he is just a puppet. He's just doing what he's been told and trained to do. There is much deeper satanic energies behind him that tell him what to do. All right, so that's correct, Mona Lisa. Cliff. A tip for connection if cell phone goes down. CB/HAM radio to be able to connect. All you need to a car battery to drive it without the electric grid. Okay, thank you. I'm really grateful if you can put that in the comments underneath the video as we close this evening, or if you can come back tomorrow. And all of you who have something nice to share, to also put it in the commentary field once the broadcast is over. So it can help other people who come in and watch the broadcast later on. And all of us here, so we can find it easily. Thank you. Eric, I experience some very obvious ringing or frequencies in my ears, both left and right in different volumes. Yep, a very common theme here. Sometimes light pressure, but nothing that hurts. It feels very nice and makes me calm. Okay, that's interesting. I never heard that. Usually most are very annoyed about it, but it's part of the upgrading. So we are being upgraded on a frequency level, and that is part of what's called the signs of this upgrading. So ringing in ears, tinnitus is one of those things. But again, just to go into the calmness, peaceness, go out to nature, connect, and just allow this upgrade, which is consistently going on. Here, I think this is also part of the upgrade, as well as the sunbeams. It's huge. The light and the colors is a big part of our upgrade going on right now, helping us. Cliff, in Sweden, at last CB radio, 27 megahertz is license free. All right. Well, you have some great insights here, Cliff. So please put that in the commentary field later. Marie, there is a lot of X next year. 24, the number of X. Yeah, I guess symbols is my thing. Me too. So that is another thing. What do we call if we are having a relationship and you break up? What do you call them? You call them your ex, right? And when people pass away, they are exit. So Musk now starting SpaceX and changing Twitter to X. There's a lot of X. And in Lahaina, when they went around and looked for survivors, like there could be any survivors when everything is just ash, they put X on the cars and the houses they searched. So it's a thing with the theme going on right now. And I think 2024 is going to be a year where a bigger percentage of humanity is going to exit for many reasons. So they are ramping up the exit plan. Marie again. In Leave the World Behind, they had the Schumann resonance as deco on the wall. Okay, I missed that. All right, yeah. So that's another thing. The Schumann resonance, the resonance of the Earth, has been 7.80, 82 hertz since we started to measure it about 100 years ago. And now it's going crazy. So we are in a time where eventually everything will balance out and be harmonized. But right now, we have to be the peace and harmony. We have to be it. And we, of course, always find it in the nature. Veronica, thank you for this tough facts and wise advice. Seen road tracks where I usually walk. Okay, very nice. Yeah, thank you, Veronica. Mona Lisa, do you know who the white hats are? No, I don't. And very few do. And there is, of course, talks about who are the white hats, and those who think Donald Trump and the Q thing is there. The white hat team. We have to understand again MAGA, M-A-G-A, which is their abbreviation for what they're pushing, Make America Great Again, which is what Hitler also used. He used Make Germany Great Again. So it's a Nazi organization, Nazi/satanic organization. And MAGA is the 5th and highest level in the satanic order. So it takes a very, very long time for you to become a MAGA representative of the organization. And yeah, so they're always using direct communication with who they are and what they stand for. Like 9/11, it was even printed on the dollar bills many, many years before they implemented. I even had a silver coin with the 2 planes going into the tower. So like it was like a New York skyscraper thing on the coin. And that was printed in the late 80s. So all these plans have been planned for a very, very long time. And they're now implemented step by step. It's like a movie script. So we see a movie script now rolling out in high speed. Lilian, if Hawaii is such a special spiritual place, why are the Hawaiian people not fighting back big time? Seems like they are just accepting being killed. So I did a presentation on this right after it happened, or actually it was later, but a few months ago. And I talked about the origin of the spiritual essence of the Hawaiian people, which is Lemurian. And the Lemurians are big hearts, blue-eyed, think the best of people. So for them to organize and come back to that spiritual warrior power, it's obviously taking some time here. But now things are changing. They're waking up. And there even been grandmothers and grandfathers who have been demonstrated so hard that they've been put into jail. You know, really beautiful, wise Hawaiian elders. So things are happening, but we don't get to hear about it. And the thing is, what can they do against this octopusy giant, which has all power, all the money, all the infrastructure, own the police, own the military, own the court system? You know, it's not easy. So for the next chapter here, we're going to see something like this. What you're asking for is what's going to happen. They're going to stand up against this giant. You know, like we saw here, this pictures I showed you. They're not waiting for anybody in the council to come back with the information what the people want. They're building the dump as we speak right now, and they're starting to dump it. They want to, yeah, make more havoc. And also that it's like I said, it's the womb of Pele, that part. So they're putting all their dead people and all their poisons into the womb of Pele after killing off that whole town. So can you see the levels here of evilness going on? They're very well planned, step-by-step plan here. Let's see. Veronica, figuring over B meaning, saw it in an astrocard, woman sitting between B and J, heavy towers. But she was sitting just calmly observing, like the roe deer. Okay, interesting. Anna Karin, Blue Shield is an EU and a program for decide which historical sites and buildings to save in case of war times or catastrophe. Right now, we have people working with this within the regional administration. Okay. So if you're picking up on the blue buildings, that's another thing. But maybe there is something going on in the Blue Shield organization as well. I haven't been diving into that, so I don't know. Thank you for sharing. So Santosha, is there anyone here in Sweden who wants to get in touch with each other personally, create networks? I'm sure there are. So please connect again through the commentary field underneath here and connect with each other. It's good if you find, even though Sweden is a long country, that you find someone close to you, so you can get to know each other and support each other here through the process ahead. Dennis, in speaking of toothpaste, what kind of toothpaste are you using, Björn? I guess fluoride-free. Yep, since many, many years. You have such nice and white teeth. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that is kind of where it usually starts for many, the toothpaste thing. It's so obvious. So, okay. Veronica, some people dream of success. Others get up in the morning and make a cake. It happens. I don't get that, but okay. Yeah, we can talk about the old version of success. The new version of success is spiritual success. To develop ourselves to ourselves, our best version, and then get into the flow to co-create with the universe where everything starts to flow. So we get that what we thought we wanted in the old paradigm, success in fame and fortune, but now we get it in co-creating the new world, and the money part will take care of itself as we go on our true path. Very big shift. Thank you, Veronica, and thank you, Cliff. Marius, your relationship with yourself is the key to your own cage or freedom. So the relationship with, as you say, when we're in the cage, or we can say the hamster wheel, running and running and running in the old paradigm, we feel trapped, we feel like slaves. The only way to get out of it is to get away from it, step out of it. And then really dive into the big question. Why am I here? What's my purpose? What's my mission? And now we're so many here who have awoken to that big question, and it will become more and more clear as we go. Some will be thrown into it. It will be a rude awakening, and from one moment to the next, our life will change forever. There will be many more moments like this now happening, like in Lahaina and so many other places. Okay. Leo number 1, evenly. Björn, what do you think about the vaxxed? And should we be afraid to meet new friends or lovers that have taken the vax? Shedding and all of that. Should we be afraid of people? So this is why I always start with the energy scale of our emotions, that the number 1 thing now is to do everything we can not to be afraid, whatever it is. So I like this abbreviation of fear. False evidence appearing real. So when we go into fear, we lower our vibration. And to have the immune system immune, we need to be in love and power. So the only way to be in love and power frequency is to be unaffected of all these fear tactics. So they are doing everything they can to scare us. And one of these things is this big question. It's also, of course, wise to understand that when we now go through this time, we need to detox ourselves on a consistent basis and take it up all the steps we can to get rid of the heavy metals and the poisons caused by the injections. And when we meet someone, because they already thought this out, it's enough to just inject 60 to 70% of the world population. The rest will take care of itself because of our sexual drive, right? We need love, and we want to find a love partner. And especially in these tough times when it's so tough to be alone, so many won't care if it is someone who took the shots. You rather have that closeness, right? So then, yes, then you will get a big portion of the injection in you, even though you stood steadfast not to take them. So it's a very clever plan here. And that's why we need to work with bioresonance, and we need to work on, like I said, detox. But most importantly, to keep a high vibe and to understand that we have both outside help and inside help to raise our vibration. When our vibration is high, it starts to take out the garbage which is not supposed to be in our body. But this is not easy. If you're a normal person living a normal life, you don't know these things. You have no clue of what it means to be on a high vibe. You still think you're on a high vibe being a positive person and having a light mood. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about connection to source, being guided by source, our higher self, leaving the world behind in a positive way, right? So as we go forward here, we will find out the best solutions to heal the body from all these toxins. And I will do my best to find something in the next, close future here, which can help many of us. Because even though we haven't taken it, we're all full of stuff, because we are blending with everybody. So good question, Leo. But number one, stay steadfast in your positive attitude. Be certain of that you are chosen, you will be fine. And if you just keep the love vibe and a high, good, nice attitude, the chances for you succeeding through this time will go up exponentially. So Leo continues. A lot of the awake people are scared of the shedding, and a lot of people are alone and isolated because they can't meet someone, because almost everyone has taken the injections. Yes. Yeah. So we have to do the best we can with what we got as we move along here, moving forward. Mona Lisa. I feel like I'm on a boat sometimes. Now it rocks. Is it because of the energies? Yeah, there is so much in the air now going on. And it's also that when we develop ourselves, as we all of you who are here do, your ability to feel the field goes up exponentially. So when we're empaths, we have a connection to all other people, and we connect with the field. So many times we feel what the field is feeling, right? So it's not just our own feelings, it's the feeling of humanity. So it's very important to understand that, so we don't take it personally when we feel all these heavy feelings, that we can take a deep breath, take a breather, go out in nature, recharge, and then come back into the game. Lilian, Swedish people are already extremely obedient to authority. How are we going to stand up and fight the octopus? I don't know yet. That's a very good question. But it comes down to number one, being loving and being wise and being able to say no, to not comply if it is idiotic and evil, like the shots, for instance, even though they threaten us with, our livelihood and that you lose your job and all of this, you can't travel and everything that they threaten with. Even then, 30 to 40% of us still said no way. And that's what we're going to have to do in every new thing that they're going to come out with and throw at us, to be steadfast on what's good and right, not to follow along what they try to push, even with their wildest threats. But there will come other solutions here. Your question is so good, because there is other things I know will eventually being birthed in this awakening process that we're in, which is going to, take the power back to the people. Right now, the power is not yet at the people. We still, are victims in this game, and we're just being pushed around like, little people. Can't do anything about this giant, but we will. Things will change. Dennis. Okay, that was to Santosha. Sophia, why is it that the universe allow all this darkness? When will enough be enough? Yeah. So that is a very big question. And the short answer is that we lost our ways when we were on that high note the last time we were in the golden age, when we were in our divine masculine and divine feminine, back in the era of Atlantis and Lemuria. And then we have the fall from grace. And in the Bible, it's the metaphor of the apple, when Eva took the apple and bit in it, which is the entrance to the world of the ego. So the fall from grace, from our divinity, and we dove into the world of the ego. And now we've been trapped in the world of the ego ever since. Then, of course, it's a much sinister part to this understanding as well. And that is the satanic ruler system came in and completely took over. So they have ruled in the shadows without people knowing. So we were, blinded by everything. And we've been eating the apple, which means gorging in sugar, in alcohol, in sex and drugs, entertainment, and all the lower spectrum of life. And now many of us are so done with it. We're so tired of what the ego wants. And now we're ready. We're ready to be ourselves again, the best version of ourselves. And that is part of the test. When are you going to come to that point where you are not tempted anymore by the ego temptations in this dimension, the third dimension, right? Are you ready to move into the fifth dimension, the world of spirit? When you are, it's easy. Before that, hard. So now we see this division. Those who are ready will move along. They will make it. We will make it. We will move on to this new era, the golden age. And those who are not ready with this, they will leave. It's part of the big die-off, which is now happening as we speak. So it also comes down to another spiritual part of this, and that is the age of the soul. So the age of the soul, if you are an old soul, then you're more inclined to be ready for this shift. But if you are a young soul, then the temptations from the ego is still stronger, right? So it's part of that as well. but there will come a point, the last thing, question in your question, when will enough be enough? There will come a point for everybody when enough is enough. Many have awoken through the last few years through this big question here, what's going on with that? And now we have the Maui thing, and we have, Acapulco is another Lahaina thing. They didn't use fire there, they used wind and water, flooding Acapulco. But whatever it is, it's different for all of us. We all have this preset moment coming for all of us when enough will be enough. It will happen for all of us. Mona Lisa, do you think that we're going to get help from aliens? Look like the Anunnakis, who was evil before, but now they want to help the human because of what they did. Yeah, that's another huge subject, Mona Lisa. Great question again. So we have to also understand that this is going on several dimensional levels. One level is the third dimension, which is the world, the system we live in as we see it. And then you have other dimensions, which is speaking to us in thoughts, in feelings, where those on the other side, which is left before us, are now guides to us, which helps us in dreams, in visions, in the now, nudging us to say yes or say no. We all have that intuitive communication to the other side, which is constantly helping us. And that is what's called the aliens, or the one that passed over. So we're constantly, when we are grounded and we are in the now, we are connecting to that communication. And as we go, we get the information to take the next step and the next big, whatever decision it is we need to make all the time. But if we are not connected to this, we're lost. So then we are like the hamster in the hamster wheel again, in the third dimension, lost in the matrix. So that's why it's so important to break out, take our time, and really connect to source. So we are wise as we move forward here. And then the Anunnakis, there is still so much there to unpack. So we don't know if they're going to show up and show to be our so-called parents, or if it's just going to happen on an astral level. Who knows? I'm open for everything. It might be that we're getting close to that time where we're going to get some help, because we for sure need it. So we'll see. Leo, thank you. Thank you, Leo. DE, can shedding affect dogs? Absolutely. All living beings. All living beings. We're all affected by it. So dogs, cats, birds, all included. Mona Lisa, universe, you probably mean God, does not think that something is evil or good. All is experience only. Nothing seems bad or good to the universe. Well, that is not really true. I know many think that it is like this, but that's not what's going on here. We are dealing with pure evil, which want to take out humanity. They want to take out 90% of humanity before 2030. Satanic ruling system, which is going on as we speak. And the rest, 10%, maybe just 5%, will be transhuman. They would take out the humanity in humanity. So we become transhumans, controlled by AI. Just be obedient, obey, like we saw here, obey. So they don't want us to be connected to spirit. They don't want us to be free thinking and wise and loving. They don't like that at all. They want people to just obey. So we have to understand the distinction, difference between dark and light, between night and day, male and female, you know, these opposites. It has nothing to do with evil, you know. That is what we understand here in your question, that we need both the polarities to be whole, right? Balance between yin and yang. But here is a whole nother ball game going on. It's a takeover of the world and humanity, which is trying to kill us all before 2030. Is that going to be allowed? Is that going to be happening by the universe? Is God, the universe, going to allow that to happen? No, no. There is a much higher divine plan going on, and that is to show this evil plan unfolding. So there will be a big part waking up to this, and then we come to that enough is enough. Then we will stand up to this evil empire and things will change. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Santosha. Oh, that was to Dennis. And Circle, thank you. All right. That was a lot. Thank you, everybody, for being so in tune here with all the heavy things going on and in this crazy time we're in. So thank you for being on a high vibe, being loving, being wise, and not being triggered by all these things. Instead, we are solution oriented. So we try to understand everything and find solutions as we go here. So with that, I like to pause the chat, and then we move over to the last part. Let's just see what Santosha has to say here. It is wonderful that you, Björn, have gathered us who think and are curious about similar things. Would love to get in touch with others here outside of broadcasting. Yeah, so let's start with writing in the comment field underneath. All of you who like to connect. So you can start, Santosha. Put in some info where you can meet up and connect. All right, so let's now move over to the last part where we will put all this together, which we always do. Let it sink in. And I like to share with you this beautiful background picture for the meditation. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Amazing. All right. So drink a little bit. And then let's also allow us to stretch a little bit as well. Left and right. Roll the shoulders. Ah. All right. So let's make ourselves comfortable. If you want to lean back to whatever you sit in, you can do so. Or if you want to be straight in your back, even better. So you practice to holding your back straight. Now, let's take a deep breath and allow ourselves to relax. And soon we will leave the body with our spirit, go on a spiritual quest, and see what comes here tonight that put all these things together and get some new upgrades and activations for the journey ahead. So allow your hands to lay in your lap with your palms up, your feet flat in the ground. You sit relaxed and with a straight back. And here we go. So here we are, right behind our closed eyes. And we start to relax and glide consciously down from our eyes, down through our face, to our neck, shoulders, down to the arms, down to the hands, all the way out to the fingertips. And we take a deep breath and we'll allow our head, shoulders, arms, and hands to simply relax. Relax. We move up again through the arms to the shoulders, up to the upper part of our chest, and on the back. And we now glide down through the chest area and also the back, as well as each vertebrae in our spine. Down, down, down. We take a little rest in our heart, and we take a new deep breath and allow this whole chest area and back area to also relax. Very nice. And we continue down to our solar plexus and down to our navel chakra, all the way down to our root chakra and the point we sit on. And we take a new deep breath all the way down to our tummy and the point we sit on. And we let this part of the body now also totally relax. Very nice. And we continue down to our buttocks, our backside thighs, our upper thigh, down to our knees, down to our calves, down to our feet. And we take a new deep breath and let our legs and feet also now completely relax. Three, two, one. And there we leave our body. We leave our body with our spirit, and we fly downward. Down, 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 deep into the earth. We're going down to the center of the earth to ground ourselves. We're getting closer. We're slowing down, and we are here. We stop for a moment. Tune in to this nice, deep, warm, loving energies. And just allow yourself to really get grounded. Very nice. So now, well grounded, it's time to get on with our adventure. So we start to fly upward. We start to fly upward, upward. We're getting closer to the surface. And we are passing the surface, the place we live, out through the rooftop and into the sky, all the way up to the clouds, through the clouds and up on the other side, where we slow down and we start to see each other, like brilliant light beams, beaming our bright light spread out all over the world. And we now start to fly toward each other. And with the speed of light and love, we come together, we create a big circle, we start to hug each other, so everybody gets the hug. And then when everybody gets the hug, we start to hold each other's hands and just ground the group. So now we just allow a little moment here to connect with each other and ground. Very nice. So now each and every one of us is grounded, and now together we grounded. And with that, let's just start to fly a little journey tonight together under the stars in this, they call it under the dome, under the firmament for a reason. And we will come to realizations on that as we go. And the whole thing here of the earth, the sun, the moon, and the stars, all is created for a reason for us now to be in this school of life, where the soul will get to the point where we will be liberated by the truth about everything. We're living in a simulation, and this simulation is exactly like a computer game. And it's up to each and every one of us to wake up to all the lies, all the programming, all the truth, and slowly and surely liberate us from this prison that we've been in. It's a steady process, it's ongoing, and it will be many wake-up calls until we get to the full picture. But we are on our way. And together, it's such a much more pleasant journey than to do it alone. Wouldn't you agree? So tonight, let's fly over to Hawaii. And with the speed of light and love, swish, and we start to look down and we see the beautiful islands of Hawaii underneath us. Let's go down a little bit closer and look at the island Maui. So we dive down a little bit, still very high up in the sky. So we are safe and sound away from everything. And from this advantage point of view, we start to see all the souls on the island, those who are enlightened, those who are not enlightened, but are good-hearted, positive, bright people, positive, loving. All this mix of light and good-hearted light are on the bright side. Then we also see there is a lot of shadow here and a lot of darkness. Here is quite a big percentage of black-hearted souls. This is one of the key points of everything going on now in the world. Here, some of the leaders, both on the shadow side, which are never seen out in the open, never heard, nobody knows about, they live here part of the time. And so are many of the rich and famous who are working for the darkness. It's very obvious. It's already out there in the open for anyone who wishes to know. And now, what we also see is the awakening in the old Lemurian hearts. The Lemurian energy is starting to awaken with its raw feminine power and the masculine power. Let's not forget, these are old Samoan warriors. They come from that old structure of warriors, which are super, super powerful. And so are the women. They know things on the spiritual plane which few of us understand. They know how to cast spells, and they know how to cast blessings. They know how to take care of this evil force on a whole nother level than the normal physical plane. And they are working on it big time. Now we have come to a point in this whole procedure where the dark ones have overstepped so many times that now we have come to that point where more and more of the elders and the younger generations feel that we have to do something. People are being killed in the open, and now they're trying to ruin the island life itself, its beautiful nature, and the economy. The whole infrastructure is heading in a new AI direction, and very few wants this. Still, it's going on in full steam. The government controlling the islands, the police, the military, everybody backs it up. It's like everybody's under hypnosis, being mean and evil to their fellow man. How is this possible? There is something going on here, which is going on in the whole world, which has everybody who are included in this spellbound, hypnotized, like they're not themselves. They just follow order. Where does these orders come from? Who is giving out these orders? And why? Many of us know the answers to these questions. But what we don't know is what's going to happen next, the outcome. Is this evil plan going to continue to roll out step by step without anybody standing up to it, saying no? Or is it just going to continue? Well, we are in the middle of this whole horror movie. And we are about to get a rude awakening, all of us. Even though we are awake, we're still asleep. Because we just watch and we don't do anything about it. We talk to each other, we talk to strangers about it, but what do we do about it? Nothing. Nothing is happening. And that's the same thing in every field around the world. Everybody who thinks they're standing up to this evil empire, we're just like small ants in this huge, huge structure, this system, which has so much more power for now. But things are changing. There is a divine plan going on. And when we look to Maui and what has happened here, we see also that this divinity is now awakening in the good-hearted people, and that this is vibrating out all over the world, waking up more and more and more good-hearted souls all over the world. We have now come to a point where we are very close to what's called that tipping point, where we're going to have the great awakening. This comes with a lot of action, because first we have to come to an understanding and an inner standing of all these things. Then we need to come together. Then we need to get organized. And then we need to take action. And this is what they fear more than anything. And this is why they're now trying to do what they're doing with so many of us on the internet, trying to take us down, trying to make us look less interesting by messing with the numbers. So it looks like fewer are watching, fewer are liking it, and fewer are following it and taking action. But it's not true. We know that they are playing with us. And we know that the numbers are much higher than what we see. We also know that there is a good part of the universe, a loving part, a part which is to win this whole game. We just need to wake up that divinity within us. So we are now on an equal frequency. So we can tap into the communication from those on the other side. Because we are here on this side as the ground crew to, first of all, get the information and then spread the information and then take action on the information. This to start changing the game. We are now at that point, that crucial point, where we see no light in sight. We just see how the evil agenda is taking a step after step in the dark dystopian direction. Where is the light? Where are these so-called white hats? Why don't we see any proof of it? Why don't we see any good signs that really point that we're safe, we're good, we have this in our bag, nothing going to stop this? Well, let me tell you this. Inside each and every one of us, God hid himself in us. So by looking outside, it's very hard to find God, the source. We have to look inside. And with that also comes another program, which is a self-destructive program when we go against all that is good, all that is love, all that is for bringing up people, making the world a better place. When we go the dark road, when we do the opposite, we hurt ourselves, we hurt others. then there is a self-destructive program which kicks in. And that is now what is called the self-implosion plan, which is now taking place. We see how famous people are dying off of various diseases, some that has been prominent in the dark agenda and are now having that emotional awakening inside where they can't hide from the truth anymore. They are having these emotional awakenings which are connecting to the innermost part of ourselves, the connection to the soul, to the spirit, to the source. And everyone wants to be forgiven for their sins before they leave this earth plane. And so do all of them. They don't know it yet, many of them, because they're still so hypnotized of the darkness. And remember, all of them are so deep into this by threats and promises of what they are going to be given once this whole agenda is completed. So they are blindly following the orders, even though they are totally insane. But as we go day by day, this frequency of light and love is getting stronger and stronger. So this is penetrating even the most darkest hearts. And we see in their faces, in their eyes, when they're standing in circumstances and events where they have to face humanity. They can be in a TV interview, it can be live, it can be on a radio, you can hear it in the voice. You can sense it, that there is something going on behind that wants to be freed, wants to be forgiven. So we now see an energy working on all these dark ones, spreading its light and love to all the darkest corners of the world, and are helping the dark ones to come back to the light, to come back to the love, to break free from the satanic ruling and confess, come out as whistleblowers and spread the truth of all the evils going on. And we're going to start to see more and more of this as we go. And that is going to change the game. Because as more and more of the dark ones who have sworn to be obedient to the bitter end, which it is, it's a bitter end, then more and more dare to do the same. So it works both ways. When we do good, we inspire people to do good. And that is what's going on. Spirit is working its magic behind the scenes and out in the open. And the more of us who tune into Spirit and live with Spirit, through the Spirit, being good, doing good, that start to spread its light all over the world, and more start to do the same. We don't have to be friends. We don't have to agree on every subject going on. We can still disagree on a lot of things. But let's agree on this. Let's be good and do good. We are now needed to unite and come together in a way that we have never done before. The time is of the essence. And now we're moving into a very crucial part of this whole agenda. So let's just take a look again down on what's going on here underneath us on Maui and start to send light. Let's send light to all the citizens on Maui and all the surrounding islands. So Hawaii is now bathing from this northern light. Let's give it freely from our heart. Let's spread it with all our might and power, all our love. Let's just send, 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 and let them embrace it with their hearts. Feel how they are willingly open their hearts, which are so undernourished of this support, which is this. We are now supporting them with this life elixir, which is everything, spirit. So we, the light from the north, the northern light, we're here to support our brothers in Hawaii and our sisters all the way back to the Lemurian beginnings. We are now coming together and we are helping each other out. We're building a bridge of light, of the northern lights from the Nordic countries all the way to Hawaii. So let's now see that bridge like a rainbow bridge of the aurora borealis, the northern light phenomenon, being connected all the way from the north to Hawaii, and let's keep it here. Steady, ongoing, from now on, there is a life source supplying the Hawaiians with high spiritual energies, which are supporting the islands, the nature, the oceans, all living creatures, and especially the elders and all living with a good open heart, to come together and get inspiration with wisdom and love that creates solutions, how they break free from this tyranny. And then we take it one step further, and that is that let this light and love be spread to all the dark ones, all those holding a position in governments, police, the military, the councils, all variety of the government, different sections. If you are working there, you are now supposed to do the right thing. Everybody knows when you go back to the Nuremberg trial and all those Nazis who stood there saying, I just followed orders. It wasn't me. Guess what? They got the death penalty because they did so. And so will happen now. No one will escape this, what's going on here. It's now very clear if we're working for the darkness or the light. So let's send the light and love to all those in these government positions to change the game. Come on the right side. Become whistleblowers. Spread the light, even if it's going to cost your life. Just change the game. Because as more and more of us start to stand up and change the game, it is going to be game over. Because there's so many that are so afraid of speaking up because nobody else dare to do it. But someone has to be the first. And I know that is coming in Hawaii. Just wait and watch. And we help here by sending them support. And then, of course, it needs to be done in real life too. Let's take a deep breath and let this sink in for a moment. And with that, we start to elevate ourselves higher and higher. and we allow all these energies to be fully on. Keep on sending and spreading the light and love for all Hawaiians, all involved. And we start to fly over to United States. And we now take a look from a very high vantage point of the whole United States. And we see again the same thing, all those who are in love and light, and all those who are ignorant, not awake, and the dark ones. And we see the plans, and we also see the power outage and the so-called cyber attacks, everything that's going on, the whole agenda. Since we know the end game, what the dystopian agenda's goal is, it's easy to see here the step-by-step plan toward the goal. And we understand it comes from inside. It's an inside job. And we see this whole network of evil being dismantled as we speak. The same thing is going on here. So many want to break out of it. So many want to be a hero, to speak out and be a good source of light and love, to be a whistleblower. Let's help them. Let's support them here by sending the same love and light that we did for Maui and Hawaii to the whole United States, which are now coming to a point where tough times are coming for a lot of Americans. And for a moment here, let's just go into silence and just send love and light to the whole American family of brothers and sisters. Beautiful. Thank you for helping. So nice and strong energies. Wow. So the same thing will happen here. There will be more and more who dare to speak up and change the game. So let's now fly over back to Europe. And here we keep on standing from a high vantage point, looking over the whole map of Europe underneath us. And we see the same thing going on here. So let's do the same. Let's spread this light and love to all who needs it, which everybody does. And especially those who are in the in-between, not awakened yet, and those dark ones. Let's take a moment. Beautiful. So lovely energies. So just know it with all your heart that the game is changing. So many are ready to switch side. So many are ready to come out in the open with all the dark knowledge they have about this whole evil empire. So many are ready to become whistleblowers. There is like this switch that needs to be switched on, this spark that needs to fly out in the open. Someone needs to be the first that goes out and change the game. And then the ripple effect will happen and things are going to start to change rapidly. Just see it, just know it. We're close, we're getting there. And we can do the best we can by being the best version of us and spreading inspiration, love, and light in our own lives. So, with that, let's come together. Let's now take it up one more notch, which is that we, with gratefulness, include all living beings on our world. Everybody, the whole other part of the world, Asia as well. And the source. From that intelligence and love where we all are created, who created this whole game, and know that there will be a positive outcome of all of this in the end. We just had to trust the process and know that is so. And now let's, with all our might, just sit together here for a moment and send our energies to the whole living being, Earth and humanity, including the source, God, all the angels, and all those who have passed over on the other side. So a complete energy wheel are now activated. And let's just send, and as we send, we will receive and be upgraded, all of us. This field is the strongest so far of all the field we have created over the time we have spent together. Wow. Thank you for being part of it. And with that, we allow the energies to continue to send and receive. And it's now time to hug each other. Everybody gets a hug, and a deep, good hug. And then, when everybody gets a hug, it's time to fly back home. So we turn to the direction of where we live, and we start to fly homeward. And as we do, we start to look down and we see the beautiful world underneath us and all the magic it has to share with us. And just in gratefulness and love, say thank you for having this amazing opportunity, to being born into this time, to being called to be one of the awakened one, the ground crew, to be here to help with this paradigm shift, this huge awakening and the liberation of humanity. Wow. Thank you. We start to see where we live in the horizon. We get closer and closer. We see the house we live in. We fly down toward the house, through the roof. We see our body. 3, 2, 1. And there we come in through the feet. up through the feet, up through the ankles, calves, up to the knees, thighs, buttocks, and we rest in the tummy. And we feel how the body really loves this new energy we come in with. And we allow ourselves now to take a deep breath so we connect the body and spirit. Beautiful. We feel how we are deeply grounded. We also feel balanced and harmonized in our navel chakra, our energy field, superbly in balance and harmony. We come up to our solar plexus chakra, which is the seat of our personal power. And we feel standing in truth, standing for love and what's right and good, makes us super powerful, like a lion. And with that, we come up to the heart. We come into the heart and we feel the amazing divine love. Beyond all the normal love is another love field which connects us all, which has a beautiful plan for us and humanity. That love, the unconditional love. We feel that, we connect with that, and we take a new deep breath, and we allow all these chakras to be activated and balanced with our body and spirit. Amazing. And with that, we also feel how our angel wings start to really awaken and spread. We feel the energies moving all the way up our spine, all the way out to our shoulders, down through our arms, down to our hands. We move our fingers a little bit. When we start to feel how we awaken and become more and more one with our body and spirit, we move back up through the arms to the shoulders, up to the neck and throat, where we stay in our throat chakra, which is now activated one more step in the process of being fully awakened, where we are, I would say, God's best friend. We are here to be the brother and sister to God, the ground crew, to speak the truth, to let our truth be heard in voice, in text, in creations, where we communicate in all varieties. There is messages here which we are supposed to spread. And it's our mission now to take on this huge, huge mission to be truth spreaders. Number one is to be a truth seeker. Number two is to be a truth spreader, where we take action and start to spread the truth in nice ways so it lands well. Very important to be tactful with this new divine feminine energy. We're not shouting, we're not roaring like a lion. We're speaking nice, softly, gently, even strongly, but in a way that it comes from love. It comes from the point where everybody can feel that you come from truth, you come from love, you are good and you mean good, and therefore this start to spread like vibrations do. And as we start to spread that type of truth and it start to land well, we dare to spread even more. And the more we practice, the better we become at it. So start to open up a little bit more. Start to dare to talk, to take a little bit more action in the right direction in which you wishes to move forward. You are part of God's hand. You are God's hand. You are the ground crew. We are the ground crew. And we are supposed to be connected to that source that we allow to speak through us. Let it now happen more and more. And with that, we move straight up to the face, which of course gets as happy as always when we come up here, smiling big time, even with those small wrinkles around our eyes. Everything, all the smiling muscles are activated and we feel good. We move up to our third eye and we stop here and we activate our ability to visualize a good future, a bright future, to see the vision, the goal which we are heading toward, the golden age, manifesting what's called heaven on earth. Just keep that in your mind, in your heart, in your vision all the time. Remind yourself often. See bright pictures. See proofs in daily life of gestures from one heart to another. Animal kingdom, how the birds untiredly keep on singing, how dogs wag their tail. All these little signs of good positive energies spreading from the easiest, smallest ways all the way up to the hierarchy of infrastructure in society of the highest leadership positions and all these power structures in all various ways. See it being bathed with this vision of light and love, this bright future, and how that is much, much more pleasurable, better in every way than the dark dystopian vision. Of course, the light is winning. See it, feel it, know it, work towards it. And with that, we allow our attention to move all the way up to our crown chakra, which is now beaming of light, creating a crown above us of divinity, making us fully connected to Source, to Father in heaven and Mother in earth, and spreading in all directions out from our field toward all other brothers and sisters here being part of this whole amazing mission. Seeing and feeling our field now fully activated, fully blossoming in light in all its beautiful colors, spreading out several meters in all directions, and we in equilibrium, being balanced and harmonized in the middle of it all. Just feel it. And when you're ready, fully activated, balanced and harmonized, we take a last deep breath and we come back by simply opening our eyes. Thank you, my dear friends, for another wonderful evening together. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you for helping out. Thank you for supporting me in the mission here forward. And thank you for giving you a thumbs up, like here. Highly appreciated, so we can do a little dent here in the negative try to take down the numbers. So until I see you again, know that we're moving into the brightest day here very soon, the winter solstice. So I'm planning to do some extra broadcast here over Christmas. I don't know exactly when, but just keep an eye out. Many good things are happening. Keep an eye on those. So until we see you again, all the love and light. Take very good care of yourself. And I wish you a good night's sleep and an amazing week ahead. Bye for now.